Yo, what up? It's your boy BigDonSkillz bringing you another video, and today we got something special from the Skills Lounge. We're going to be talking about Nintendo and their potential F-up of the latest implementation of Nintendo 64 Online. So, if you aren't aware, they finally launched their service for the Nintendo 64 Online on the Nintendo Switch, and there was a lot of controversy with this because their price jumped up for the annual subscription from $20 to $50. And all you're getting with this subscription is access to new Nintendo 64 games, new Sega Genesis games, and some free Animal Crossing DLC, which isn't relevant if you don't own the game. So there's been a lot of controversy, and now we fast forward to the day of release, and there seems to be some issues with the games themselves. What I'll be doing, I'll be going over some tweets, and I've seen a few videos too, but we'll be talking about some tweets, comparing images, and just kind of giving my hot take on everything that's going on. So the first one right here, I'm gonna admit this one is something I probably wouldn't notice until I came on Twitter, right? So this one doesn't make me as mad, but we're still gonna talk about it. So this is gonna be from Ocarina of Time. Remember that a lot of these games were available on Virtual Console for the Wii and Wii U. So you're gonna have this first picture right here. This is Nintendo 64, right? So obviously resolution's low, pretty standard stuff, right? It's the native way the game looks. Low resolution, very, very foggy, right? Very ominous. If we go to the right, which is the Wii, the Virtual Console, you know, looks a little bit better, a little bit more HD. And then you jump here to the Switch version, and at first you may not notice it, but if you look over here at the water textures, the textures are like tiled. So it doesn't even look natural if you compare it to the previous two. Look at the differences in water. The water is natural and reflective, and this is just flat out glitched. The fog is gone. I don't know. Like I said, it's something initially I wouldn't think was a big deal, but why is this a problem? You know, this is the Switch. Why is it having graphical issues and glitches running its own hardware from almost 30 years ago, right? So that's just one. I don't think that's the worst, like I said, but we'll just start jumping side to side on things. So I just wanted to bring to your attention that right now the Wii U is trending on Twitter because of this. And every time, you know, something happens with Nintendo, the Wii U just comes out of nowhere and starts trending. It's a console that I think was good, but suffered from having the dumbest name. People didn't know it was different than the Wii, and it didn't really feel different than the Wii. So I just thought I'd bring this to y'all attention. I just find it funny. A little bit more stuff about the Legend of Zelda situation. Alright, so they're going to scroll over next. In addition to everything that's going on, of course, the Nintendo 64 controllers are pretty hard to find. They're wireless as well as the Sega Genesis one, but these controllers cost $50 a piece, man. So you're already paying $50 a year for it, and then you're paying $50 for one controller. And unfortunately, I think with the Nintendo 64, the best way to play these games is with the Nintendo 64 controller. Just because it was such a unique and oddly designed controller, even when you take a step up to the GameCube or you use a Pro controller or Joy-Cons, a lot of it just doesn't convert properly. This is also another issue that I've seen in videos that I've watched where people are complaining that the control scheme isn't remappable in these games at all. And the fact that the A and B buttons are reverse and your C buttons are like mounted to like X and Y partially or something. It's a lot of goofiness with with the layout of the buttons. So a lot of the games don't even feel natural. So jumping on to the next one. We got a tweet right here from Tuful, I don't know how to pronounce it. So there's a few tweets, right? This is saying that the game has a lot of input delay or input lag. So what that means is every time you put an input to the controller, right, it sends that input to the system or to the game, and then the game responds, right? When a game has bad input delay, essentially it'll feel like the game is like slow or it's lagging behind or it's not responsive to what you're doing. And people are showing that these old games have input lag. I've played collections before. I remember the Mega Man collection for like Xbox One. For some reason, it had like really bad input delay, and I didn't really know what it meant at the time. But I looked it up. I was like, why does it feel so like non-responsive? It's because it had input delay, and all it takes is one frame, which is 1/60th of a second, depending on which game you're playing. One frame will feel like you're just out of it, dude. Especially if you're playing on a non-gaming TV as well, or non-game mode on the TV. You're just really gonna feel this input delay. So, like I said, if you look at him on this Pro Controller, he taps, and then he flips. You see that delay? That's a big difference. Then you scroll down, and he shows a comparison between the Nintendo 64, which is on a CRT, the original monitor, and then the Switch. So he does it in slow-mo and in fast motion. So you see how quicker that comes out on the Nintendo 64? Very, very, very bad. This makes games feel just awful. Trust me on this one. Alright, and then we're going to go to the next one. Now, this is the online feature. Some of the things that I've seen about this is that despite people having great connections, if they're, wired Ethernet, they're playing with friends that are Ethernet, there's still tons of lag. There's also audio delay spikes that come out of nowhere. And so what happens is the game desyncs, and then there's audio spikes, and it just messes up the entire gameplay loop. So I'm gonna play this for Mario Kart 64, which is one of my favorite racing games of all time, and the game I was actually most excited to play for this. And you'll see they're playing 2 players right now. We'll make it full screen. Twitter compression is awful. Hopefully it plays. And you'll just hear it. Oh my god. I think that's enough, man. My ears can't take that anymore. So this is super laggy, bro. This is Smash Ultimate Online, pretty much. It doesn't help that these games are like peer-to-peer too. And this is what Nintendo's trying to charge you extra for. The problem is the $50 a year is not expensive at all. Xbox Live costs that much. PlayStation costs that much. But they're giving you a premium service, and they have good servers, where most of the games have good servers, You're getting a premium value for what you're paying for. I don't mind spending $60 a year on Xbox Live at all, because I get 3 free games a month, or actually 4 free games a month, even if they may not be the best. I'm still getting free stuff. I get certain perks, whether it's DLC or exclusive Xbox skins. And this is mirrored in PlayStation as well. Essentially, you get perks, and you get a good stable online experience. You get Xbox Live Party Chat, which is, in my opinion, the best party chat feature that isn't Discord. You get so many different features, and then you get the Nintendo Switch at $50 now. Okay, you got some Nintendo 64 games, you got SNES games, those are cool. That was part of the initial $20 plan. But now you get an Animal Crossing DLC, when even though a lot of people bought Animal Crossing, most Switch owners, I guarantee you, don't have Animal Crossing. It doesn't work like that. So if they gave Animal Crossing away for free, oh, thank you for the subscription while the video's running. They give you Animal Crossing away for free, then, then it would be cool. But now you got a package deal that's not even relevant to a good majority of the player base. I have Animal Crossing. I have not touched a game in like a year. So these are the things that kind of compound. It already wasn't a good value. And of course, because it's old school games, people are going to buy it anyways. Like, Nintendo fans love this stuff. They're going to buy it regardless. And so that's where it gets really, really messy. All right, next one. I actually don't even remember this one. I think this was an audio issue too. Let's play it real quick. Hopefully it ain't too bad, dude. Yeah, so any online play is like borderline unplayable. This sounds like a horror song. Which is sad because the online was the thing I was looking forward to the most. And online works great for the Super Nintendo games. That's the weird part. And I've been told that it even works really well for Sega Genesis games. So it's just this Nintendo 64 thing that's just like not vibing correctly. And then this is the same thing. This is what we saw earlier from Tufal or Tuful. But yeah, I just find this so weird because Nintendo knows better, bruh. They offer a premium product. You know it's emulated. It's all emulation. They essentially fought back against emulation a few years ago before this service started because they knew they were going to release this service. You get these Super Nintendo games and Nintendo games, not the worst collection, but they slowly add games. Like they add like 3 games every like half a year. And then two out of the 3 games are like non-popular games. They're not even like Nintendo franchise games, you know what I'm saying? So you're not even getting like what people would really want. People would rather pay for the classics like they did Virtual Console because the way that they're feeding out these games are awful. The Nintendo 64 lineup is actually pretty impressive in the beginning. They actually have a really good starting lineup, but who cares when you can't even play the games, you know? Where's that Ridge Racer 64? We need some snowboard kids, dude. It's Donkey Kong 64, Jet Force Gemini. Let me stop. But that's kind of the vibe, man. That's just kind of all I wanted to get at. But I appreciate everybody for being here. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. I knew better. Like I said, $50 isn't an issue to me. It's just that Nintendo wanting me to pay 1.5 times as much for a service that's already awful to get more stuff that isn't even implemented properly. I don't know, you're not getting my money yet. You're gonna have to fix all this stuff. We need some sort of incentive, but it's Nintendo. We're probably not gonna get any of that, let's be real. But let me know what y'all think. As always, if you like the video, go ahead and drop that like. If you want to sub to the channel, go ahead and sub to the channel. If you ain't subbing, what you doing? But I appreciate every single person for being here today. If you've got other news, articles, gameplay, things you want me to do, always comment in my Discord. I also stream on Twitch. Everything's in the description section. Have a good night. Deuces. Peace out, everybody.